Record. Hey Karen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm just wondering, do you have the next 45 minutes to just sit and have a chat with me?
Yep, I do.
Awesome. And is there anyone that you wanted to be part of the call, like a spouse or a business partner or someone that would be interested in the decision that you're going to make?
Nah, it's just myself today.
All right, awesome, cool. So I'm just wondering what brought you onto this call today. Tell me a bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so I came across Marcel's TikTok and I saw that he was traveling. He went to Japan, he went to, I think, America, and now he's in Spain, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it just seems like he's got a pretty cool life. He's able to travel wherever he wants to and work whenever and wherever as well,
Mm.
while earning a lot of money. So I feel like all of that interested me.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in Spain right now. The light's kind of not showing you, but there's like a big mountain behind me. So yeah, it's a beautiful place to be, and I feel really grateful to, be able to sort of live a similar lifestyle. But yeah, is that something that like interests you, the idea of sort of being able to work and travel and move around?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would
Nice.
love to travel a lot more than I'm allowed to from work.
So yeah, is that's obviously something that's not possible with what you're doing for work at the moment?
No, it's not.
Mm. What is it that you're working as at the moment?
I'm a nurse at the moment, so I'm always at the hospital all the time, and it's very hard to get time off to travel to, say, Spain, like you're sitting
Mm.
in right
Yeah, like nurse is like such a, you hear someone's a nurse and you go, oh my God, that's like so amazing that you do that. So yeah, I'm just wondering like how you find that job because obviously it's also like really demanding and really hard.
now. Yeah, yeah, it is very demanding, and yeah, it's just exhausting, to be honest. You're on your feet all the time, running around, and you're working long hours as well, so it does get pretty tiring by the end of the week.
How long have you been doing that for, the nursing?
The last 4 years.
Wow, okay. And was that something that like, because obviously you worked for 4 years, did you have to like study as well before you started becoming a nurse?
Yeah, yeah. I went to university and studied nursing before I actually got into the field.
Wow. So that's probably like, a 7 year stint of just like being in the nursing world, right?
Yeah, when you put it like that, damn.
Yeah. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about your job. Like obviously, I worked as a disability worker, so I know sort of what it's like to work with like, people that you're supporting and people that need care, but I can imagine nursing is like the next level up from that. Like what is your sort of day-to-day looking like and yeah, how is that?
Yeah, so I'll get into the hospital and then probably work like 10 to 12 hours each day.
Mm,
And just running around checking on patients, making sure all their meds and all of that are in order and admitted to them on time.
mm.
Yeah, just a lot of running around, to be honest, and just checking up on patients all day.
Yeah, it's like I feel like whenever I've gone to a hospital, it's just like all the noises and you do see the nurses like running around all day and like it would be I can imagine like super super stressful, but yeah, it's like 10-hour days, that's like really long. So how are you is it sort of like is it sort of more days in a row that you're working those 10-hour days and then you get some time off or how does the sort of week go for you?
No, so it's all like shift work. So usually
Mhm.
we're rostered on every fortnight and it's
Mm,
5 to 6 days a week. And yeah, you kind of just take it as it goes. Obviously, they roster you for 8 hours, but that
mhm,
never happens. You always go over. So that's
mm,
why it's like 10 to 12 hours each week.
mm.
Oh, each shift, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like yeah, I can imagine because it's like you can't just be like, oh, this patient needs me. See ya, my shift's over.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so yeah, how is it like after you finish that sort of shift work and it's been that week, like how is your off time being considering you're working so many hours?
Yeah, so on my days off, I'm literally just resting. I'm using it to recover. I really don't want to go out anywhere because I spend, like, my Apple Watch, I finished the circles so often because I'm just running around. I get all my steps in, and the
Mm,
last thing I want to do on the weekend is go anywhere because I'm just so
mm,
tired.
mm. Would you say it's been like that over the last 4 years, or has it increasingly gotten like more intense as you've stayed in the role?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that's built up gradually over the last 4 years, just because like the more experience you get, the more you're capable of, the more your managers and everyone else demands of you. So you get more responsibilities and so on. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like you kind of get different, for me, it's like different clients. So for you, it's like different patients with different needs, more like advanced needs and things like that. Um, so yeah, I feel like you told me obviously that you've kind of after you've come home from that shift work, you have that week sort of off, you're not really having much time to do things and you're not really having that energy to be able to go out. Like, does that, how does that feel for you not being able to have the free time to actually enjoy your time off?
Yeah, it definitely sucks, but I also don't get to actually sit in that feeling for long just because I'm too tired. Like I just spend most of the time resting, you
Mm.
know?
What do you mean by that? You don't get to spend that much time in the feeling of that?
Yeah, like I don't think it's something I consciously think about. Like, oh, I don't have time to go out with my friends or whatever because like I'm just too tired to even think about wanting to go out. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I honestly 100% understand. Like, I know for me, there was a level of with the disability work, you kind of had to dissociate from work because it's like, it's really there's a lot going on. So it's like, would you say it's only the tiredness and the fatigue that's kind of causing you to feel like that, or is there like other stresses going on at work that want you to sort of shut off at the end of the day?
Yeah, like I feel like because I have been there for 4 years, like you can't not form some sort of attachment or relationship with your patients as well. And
Mm,
so it does get a bit hard when, they're not doing the best or some of them pass away. So it is pretty emotionally heavy, I would say.
yeah. Yeah, I've worked with like a few old people and like thankfully none of them ever passed away, but I remember them when they'd have to go into the hospital and then you'd be with the families and yeah, I can imagine like having to be in front of that every day would be really, really hard and you're a human with a heart. It's like as much as you get used to it, how are you supposed to just sort of like let that
Mm.
go? So yeah, I'm wondering like what actually got you into the nursing in the first place? Like, what motivated you to start?
I mean, I just thought like it was a good career path, I guess. And it's also pretty good to be like, hey guys, I'm a nurse. You know what
Mm,
I mean? And
mm,
like, I guess I didn't mind the work, but I didn't realize how demanding it would be, I guess.
mm, mm, for sure. And how, like, obviously, you're saying you didn't realize how demanding it would be. Like, what was your like expectation versus reality? Like, how did that look, or how does that look?
Yeah, yeah, I thought it would just be, 8, maybe 9 hours of work and not so much running around, but yeah, I don't think it would be as hectic as it is now, to be honest. Because like, from things that you see on TV, like Grey's Anatomy or whatever, it all seems pretty chill, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really nothing like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's I feel like it's like it would be great if it was Grey's Anatomy. Like there's so many hotties in that. So like you definitely want that. But yeah, it's sort of like with the hours, like obviously you told me before that, as the years have gone on, there's been, an increase of the demand and it's kind of like gotten more intense. Like, is that something that, will continue as you get more experience? Like, will it just become more demanding or is there a point where, you become a supervisor and then it becomes less stressful or something like that?
No, so the supervisor's also as frantic and hectic as the rest of us are as well. So I don't think it gets any, if anything, it gets worse. Like you have the
Mm,
responsibility of not only the work itself, but also your staff. So
mm.
yeah.
I can imagine like, because for me, I know in the disability work, like I'm so grateful that I've made something else happen, but I kind of saw even in the disability work, okay, eventually I could move into support coordinator and I'd be working less hours and making more money. So it's like, how does it feel that, you're seeing your supervisors who, yeah, maybe they make more money, but they have more stress? Like, is that something that you would want for yourself to move up, or do you see yourself sort of staying just as a nurse?
I guess at some point I did consider wanting to move up the ladder and be like a manager or a supervisor, but honestly, just like being in the workforce for 4 years has made me question whether I even want to do this long term. Just because
Mm,
I don't even have time for myself on the weekends and to do what I want to do because I'm too busy resting and recovering for the next week ahead.
mm, yeah, yeah. I feel like I would probably be thinking like a similar thing if I was in that situation, sort of, you know, because it's I think it's the natural thing to think, oh, I should like progress in my job, but then it's like, oh, what will happen if I do that? So I'm wondering like when you sort of when did this feeling of like, oh, maybe I don't want to progress in this role, when did that sort of start?
Probably over the last year or so, I would say.
Mm. And would you say there was anything in particular, like obviously the stress and the demand, was there anything else that triggered that feeling?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, I guess my feet and my back have been hurting quite a bit because of
Mm,
all the steps and long hours I've been putting in. So I guess
mm,
yeah, I was just thinking long term, like, are we just gonna be, putting up with this pain forever until it just becomes numb? I don't know.
mm.
I mean,
Yeah, 100%. Like it's like you really feel it when it starts to like be in your body and you're coming home from the end of the day, you're like, I should not be feeling like this. Like, why is my body like so sore? It's like you're like, man, I should be, getting a lot more support for this and stuff like that. Like when you talk to other people at work, is there people in similar circumstances, or do you feel like you can kind of like talk to them about what's going on and how you're feeling?
yeah, we're all going through the same thing, so we're all trauma bonding, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there like, you know, when you say, so it's like you kind of all going through the same thing, you're getting the opportunity, like you know you've been feeling like this for the last year, and that's kind of where you've been at. In that last year, like, has there been any point where you really felt like, okay, I need to get out of this, or it's just been like a subtle feeling of like, oh, okay, this isn't really what I want to be doing?
No, no, I've definitely felt that I need to get out of this for a while now. So
Mm.
I guess that's why I'm kind of looking into this.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it's like so amazing that you jumped on the call and you're actually going into making that change. I'm really sorry there's a person mowing the lawn. I hope that's not too
It's okay.
distracting for you.
It's all
Um,
good.
but yeah, I'm just like, I'm wondering like how much longer do you actually see